Matthew 8, verse 5. We're all familiar with this story where it says, and Jesus was entered into Capernaum when unto him a centurion beseeched him, and saying, Lord, my servant is homesick with palsy, grievously tormented. And Jesus said to him, I will come heal him. And the centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am under authority, having soldiers under me. I say to this man, go, and he goeth. I say to another, come, and he cometh. And to my servant, do this, and he does it. And when Jesus heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and the west, and shall sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out in the darkness, and there weeping and gnashing of teeth. And Jesus said unto the centurion, Go thy way, as thou believed, so it's been done to thee. And the servant was healed the same hour. As I read this and stuff when I was preparing for that, I thought the cool thing that jumped out to me was the first thing that Jesus says, I will come heal him. As soon as he hears this thing, he says, I will come heal him. He didn't ask any questions or anything. He said, I'll come do it.
Just unconditional service.
Correct. And that's the God we serve. He's willing. His will is for us to be healthy and whole. His will is for us to be blessed and prosper. But the word heal here, we always think heal just means to make well. But the definition of heal in this sense, first is means to serve, to give medical attention, then cure and restore to health. So there are some things that Jesus said, I got to deal with this guy first, and then we'll get him healed. There are some things that we got in our lives that we got to deal with sometimes. And not that it's... I think the biggest thing that we got to deal with is our belief system. Sometimes we think, like this centurion here, he said, I'm not worthy for you to come to my house. Sometimes we got that mentality that I'm not worthy. I got to build myself up so I can ask God for this. I got to stop doing this stuff over here so that God can do this for me over here.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think that's kind of the same sense here. God's saying, I want to heal you guys. I want to bless you. I want to do this for you guys. But you got to change the way you're thinking because it's blocking what I have for you.
I found myself thinking like that at different times in the past.
Yeah, and it's based off our past experiences. You know, it's based the way we were brought up or things that we've gone through or things that we've seen. We always say, oh, because I've seen that, I should react this way. But here, the way we see that Jesus reacted, he did not ask a question of this centurion. He didn't ask, what have you done to deserve this? What have you done to earn this? What has your servant done? He said, I'll come heal him. I'll come do it because I can do it. And then we go further on here, and it says in verse 8, the centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shalt come under my roof, but speak only a word, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, and I say to this, sir, go, and he goes. The thing that jumped out, we always hear this story, we always hear, oh, this guy understood authority, and that's why he just said, Jesus, just speak a word, and it'll happen. He understood authority, but I believe that he understood the power of the word, the power of the spoken word. Because he said, just say a word. He told Jesus, just say a word, and it'll happen. Because he said, I say to my servants, and they do. So all you have to do, because of who you are, because of the authority you have, the position you hold, is just say a word. Just say a word. That's all you have to do. He said, I know you don't have to come over here, but just say a word, just to say. The word say means to speak, to affirm or maintain, to teach, to exhort, advise, to command, direct, to point out with words, to call by name, to speak out or mention. He goes, just say it. Just say it. Sometimes we just got to say it. We just got to say it sometimes. But we hesitate because we think, oh, I don't know if that's right. But if it's in his word, we begin to speak the word of Jesus over yourself. Speak the word to yourself. As I've told you guys before, I've been running for over a year now. And when I first started running, it was during the allergy season. And supposedly when I was younger, I had severe allergies. And the doctor told my parents that I would eventually die from these allergies. That's how bad they were. So I began running during that time, and I was having a hard time breathing because of all the pollen and everything. I was kind of wheezing a little bit. But I began to speak to my body and said, no, God, I believe God gave me a gift to do this. And I said, body, you got to line up with the gift of God. You got to begin to line up. And as things will start hurting, I said, no, not today. Not today.
Amen.
You have no right to be here.
Amen.
Begin to speak to your body. Begin to speak to things. The same way that this centurion said, just speak a word and it'll happen. We need to begin to speak things into our lives. Because, as I told you guys before, in Genesis, when God made man, he said, I make you in my image and my likeness to reflect me, to be like me. And too many times we have a hard time, I don't know if I'm like God. I don't know if I can be. That's what he said. He blessed us, told us to be prosperous and have dominion on this earth. That's the blessing that God put on our lives as human beings. He didn't say if you do this, if you do that. Just the simple fact that you're breathing, God said, I've blessed you to be prosperous and to have dominion on this earth. To have dominion on this earth means to have dominion in my body.